In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name's Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, Sophie, and Ida. Henrietta.
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play Mieli, a moon elf wizard.
Yvonne.
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura from Germany, and I play Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
Daria.
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland, and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales, and I play a human wizard named Charlotte.
And Ida.
Hi, my name is Ida, and I'm from Sweden, and I play Lilith, the wood elf cleric.
Excellent. All right, Henrietta.
Well, the last session we emerged from the sewers inside the city, and a shady person asks us if he can help us with anything. And we are kind of suspicious, but we ask him where the prison is. And he starts to tell us that the prison is by the harbor, blah, 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 blah. But we figure out that that's the new prison. And we want to know where the old prison is. And he tells us that the old prison is overrun with Centrum and heavily guarded. And his name is Jet. He wants gold to show us the way to the old prison. And after a lot of haggling, Charlotte gives him a platinum coin with a snake motif. And he accepts it with a little too much enthusiasm. We send a note to Commander Forsyth telling him that we are inside the city. With I think it was with Ivy. Jet shows us the way through some alleyways, and he leaves us, but he points out the direction to the prison. We try to figure out what we should do. We need to talk to the tieflings that are inside the prison, and Charlotte wants Byleth and Zenis to go inside alone and pretend that they are part of the tiefling group, because all tiefling look alike apparently. Zenis, we also learn that Zenis is from the same swamp as the tiefling that work for the Centrum. And we figure out a plan. Step 1, get into the prison using Jet. We have to find him again. Step 2, Charlotte and Mieli's familiars should go and find the tieflings inside. Step 3, Byleth and Zenis convince them to join us. And step 4, we leave ? Using Jet ? Or a scapegoat ? We call for Jet, and he shows up again, and we give him some gems that Charlotte had hidden away. She told us that she'd used them to pay the soldiers, but she hadn't, so she lied to us. And we need to go through the sewers again. We grease ourselves up and start the journey through the sewers. We almost get stuck in the tunnels, but we power through with the strength of friendship and Cracker. Well, when we get out of the tunnels, we are at the bottom of a large tank. It's not hard to get out of it, and we will end up in the courtyard. And one of the doors in the courtyard should lead to the tiefling. Jet leaves us in the courtyard, and we send the Mieli spider under the door to check it out, and we can only see tieflings inside. So we decide to just go inside. Zenis listens at the door first, and she can hear that they're arguing amongst themselves about wanting to leave, but where should they go? they can't leave, etc. Sinise opens the doors and goes inside and tries to talk to them. They are really suspicious and think that maybe Lord Vidar sent us to trick them. We learned that they are descended from the original Tieflings, and they were living in the swamp and they were slowly dying out. And one day, some adventurers came to the swamp and offered them to join them to fight orcs. They agreed, but they had to sign a contract with Lord Vidar to make them stay with the group, with the Zentrim. We also learned that there is one Tiefling that's named Selphira, and she's in league with Vidar, and she's very powerful. And she's the one that's most kind of inside the Zentrim idea that they want to join them. We don't want to. They don't want to work for Vidar, but they don't trust us to save them because some heroes was in the city earlier and they fought a dragon, and the heroes promised to come back and save them, but they never did. So they aren't very trusting of us either. We tell them that we are going to get them out of the contract and that we have some connections in the army outside. They tell us that we can set up base in the cells, their cells, and the Zentrim doesn't really search their rooms anymore because there was a kind of happening with some fire and stuff earlier, so they have some respect, and that's where we left off.
Excellent. Yes. So, what do you guys think now?
And we also learned that oh my god, the contract was made by a spell, Gaius or something.
Yes,
That
it's, well,
will
it's
make them hurt if they break the contract, probably die.
right. It's written Gaius, but it's apparently I didn't know this until very recently, despite I knowing about this spell since I was a kid. It's actually pronounced Gesh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's like a Gaelic word or something. So the yes, the Gesh spell is very powerful, and for any mere mortal, it would mean certain death, and even fairly high level characters would be at significant risk. It's only if you are exceptionally powerful would the Gesh not kill you, but it would still be painful. Yes. Right. They are the hostages to guarantee performance on the contract. But there is a debate as to whether or not those hostages should be allowed to keep everybody else tied in semi-slavery.
Mhm.
I mean, what are 2 lives compared to the lives of dozens?
And the lives of their one only child that hasn't, because they haven't had children in a long time, right?
Yes, that's right.
Lollipop.
Yes. Mother Onana, matron Mother Onana, and Lollipop. I mean, look at that face.
Hmm.
You want
He's
to be
got giant
responsible for her?
horns.
Sounds like a bit horn envy there.
So I think we were taking a rest, right?
Yeah. And this is Bariel. And this is Flamma. Yes, you guys were taking a rest to try to figure out what you were going to do next.
Okay. Should we set up the tiny hut just in case?
Mhm.
Maybe in this corner or something.
Well,
Or-
in their sleeping quarters behind the curtain or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. I will put up the hut. And I want to make it the same color as this one, the bricks and stuff. So that it's not, I mean, it can't be fully hidden, but a bit less obvious, I guess.
Okay. Well, we'll just use the same image.
Yeah, sure. Just for, mind
wanna-
damage and stuff.
You want to put that kind of request in a little bit earlier so I have time to do it. That'd be fine.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Have you got access to the tiny hut, or did I not do that? Where is the tiny hut?
Yeah.
There you
Here
go.
it is.
Well done. Okay. They watch as you put up this tiny hut after your requisite, what is it, 10 minutes? 11 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, you are powerful.
Thank you. Sadly, I'm not powerful enough.
No,
to
I
cure
think
you.
you can do it. Perhaps you can. Would you mind if I slept inside that? It looks very comfortable.
Of course, yeah.
And she tries walking into it, but because you haven't set her as an entrant, she just bangs against the outside. Oh,
Oh
oh.
you can come
I
in.
think I'll just stay out here. It's all right.
No! Three
And
more people can
she
come in.
backs up and she rubs her nose a little bit.
Oh.
No, it's probably best not to make too many changes at my age.
Hmm.
Will you help us then?
Hmm.
Well, if you don't want to, you don't need to be rude about it. Just say so. It's fine.
We'll do everything we can.
I feel so guilty. These young people, they want to run and stretch their wings. They want to do something with their lives. We left the swamp thinking that this would give us a chance for a new beginning. And instead, it's just bound us in a way we never would have thought was possible. Not since the days of our enslavement in Mulharand have we had such little power over our own destiny. Even in the swamps, we at least had the freedom to die as we wished. Now we die on command.
Can't imagine what that must feel like. I'm very sorry for you. I mean, I know that a spell that I know can cure it, but I haven't learned it. And I don't know where I could get a scroll like that or someone to teach me the spell. And even then, I feel like it has been cast at a very high level. So it's tricky.
Yes. Neverwinter is a large city, and it has great wealth and power in it. There is a place where magic is stored, but it is heavily guarded. We have also, however, heard that certain powerful artifacts are stored in the museum. I don't know if they're real, they could be fakes, but It seems possible, I suppose, that a less well-guarded option might be to attempt to break in there, but there's no guarantee they'd have what you need.
Well, is there ever?
You're so wise for one so young. And she touches your face gently with her gnarled, broken hands.
Thank you.
And you have such beautiful skin. And I've never seen horns like yours. It's almost as if you're not a tiefling at all.
Hmm. Well, I never really connected with my tiefling roots.
Ah, well, if you'd like to learn, come and ask me some questions. One of the few advantages of my advanced age is that when I can remember a great deal. I'll tell you all about your people, or at least my people, and whether or not we share the same roots, we'll find out together.
Oh, sounds interesting.
And then
Thank
she
you.
looks at Zanice and says, Child, you of course are welcome, although I suspect you know more about your history than this one does. But I can tell we are not the same. You know, there are other tieflings, more of them like you than like us. Most of your type. Most of them were created, frankly, by the Thaans. Partly to counter our own power. Because we are the children of Set, a great and powerful god from another world, similar to this one. Most of the original tieflings are more like you, the offspring of some fiendish interlude with a human being or another mortal. But then the Thaans, they deliberately genetically engineered through powerful and black magic, demons and devils that they bound to their will and introduced them to human slaves to produce children like you with the power to harness the weave so that they could be used as soldiers and minions. We have fought for years to try to be ourselves, to retain our culture and not die out. I feel so bad. I know if I simply let myself die, they would be free. Well, myself and Lollipop. Lollipop's too young to know. But if I could do it, I would. They won't let me. These young ones who love me so much. I tell them, just let me go, and then you'll be free. But the truth is, they don't have a good plan for what to do after I'm gone anyway. And who's to say that force of arms won't be enough to bind them into service, as opposed to guilt? I'm tired. I don't suppose any of you could make a small fire. I'm a bit cold.
Cracker nudges Byleth. She could take my place in the hut.
I mean, there's space for 9 people, so you can come in if you like.
Oh, that's very generous. Yes, I think I will. May I do it now?
Sure. Try it. It's very cozy.
And she reaches out a hand tentatively against the barrier, and her hand starts to slide through. Oh, it tingles. And then she gingerly puts one little dainty foot forward. Oh, I feel like a young girl again. And she steps through. And all you hear is,
Well, shall we join her inside?
technically Byleth must be inside already.
Oh.
But yes, the rest of you can certainly join. I assumed Byleth had been sticking her head out.
Yes, I did.
Which we won't allow in combat, but you can do this for this. Oh, I see. It's just literally a hut. I thought I heard of someone using some similar type of magic to create a spacious, magical castle. Or am I just misremembering?
Not me.
Well, Byleth, you would know that there is such a spell that allows that kind of thing, and several of them actually, with increasing levels of splendor, and even laid out with food and animated servants that only exist within the castle, but they're much higher level spells, and you don't have access to them yet.
All right. Well, I'm not that powerful yet. But I
Oh,
think it's a good start.
absolutely. Any change from that cold, dank cell is a welcome one. You know, amongst all of us, we have quite a lot of fire starting capability, but we don't really have the ability to move the dampness and the mold and just the chill that sets in one's bones. I miss the days when I didn't have to stay huddled up for warmth. If only there was some place warm and dry for me to rest my weary head. Every night, I would be content. Where shall I sleep then?
Anywhere you like. Mi casa es su casa.
Bless you. Would you mind, young lady, if I cuddled up next to you? You seem big and strong and warm. And she sort of leans on Cracker a little bit.
Cracker snuggles in. Let's get some rest. And the two of them together make an orchestra of snores.
Oh
No.
god.
Is it
Oh,
synchronous or is it
stop that.
asynchronous?
Oh, it's totally asynchronous. It's a cacophony.
You know, I'm really considering handing myself into the gods.
Make it stop. Okay, well, you settle in, and no one else asks to join you. At the same time, they all look suspicious, surprised, envious, curious. Lollipop comes up and sort of presses her face against the outside of it. You can't really see her. You can just sort of see her shape, but since nobody else is her size, it's pretty obvious it's her.
Mhm.
Everybody else just sort of settles in.
If Lollipop wants to come in, she can also do so.
You talk to her about it, or
I don't know if I have to talk to her about it. Do I?
no, you don't. So you
Okay.
just sort of give her permission.
Yeah.
And suddenly she just like falls in because she was leaning against it and she had no idea that this was happening.
Oh, here we go.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's pretty.
Hmm.
And then she grabs your mustache on one side.
Ouch.
Oh, why do you have hair on your face? Aren't you a girl?
Well, it's in style right now.
Oh,
I mean, all the great wizards have, beards, and mine is growing right now.
will I have one when I'm your age?
Maybe, if you want to, you can achieve anything you want.
And she closes her eyes and she clasps her hands together and she squishes her eyes really tight. Oh, I wish to have a great big hairy face. And then she opens her eyes and she like pushes her fingers up against her face and pats her cheeks. Oh, nothing yet.
Can I do a minor illusion?
But she can't feel it, so she doesn't know
She
that
can feel
anything's
it.
changed.
No.
Everybody else sees a massive bushy beard. Mother Onana starts laughing. No, she's asleep. She laughs in her sleep.
It's too funny.
Maybe one day. And then she curls up next to Mother Onana. So it's Lollipop, Mother Onana, and Cracker.
No.
Thankfully, she doesn't snore yet. Okay, so you guys are settled in. Anything you guys want to do? What's your plan?
Well, I want to change some spells.
Okay.
But like, what's our plan for like?
I think
Museum.
yeah, I was talking about like, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your long-term plan? Your medium-term plan? Your tomorrow's plan?
Oh yeah.
Well, we need to save the tieflings, and to save the tieflings, we either need to like find that magical place, and go in there, but it's very heavily guarded, or we go into that less guarded museum that might not have what we need.
Yeah.
So Charlotte thinks, based on the description of Mother Onana, that she's referring to the tower that houses the Cloak and Stars Wizards Guild.
Okay.
Charlotte's actually been inside it once as a function of being with Agamemnon. And she knows that all she knows is that Agamemnon said, "Don't touch anything." And every time you try to reach your hand out to touch something, because that's how you are, he
Yes.
literally zapped you with a very low level shocking grasp.
That's how she learned that spell.
That's just she learned that spell. Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of Agamemnon, what did the tiefling say last time about him?
Anybody remember? Nobody remembers?
No.
He like came
Not
by and
really.
saw them or spoke to them or something.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to help them. And then he disappeared.
Was he
Something
part of
about
the Heroes
Tonker?
of Neverwinter?
So I don't think Agamemnon's met the tieflings,
Oh.
but Agamemnon's simulacrum has met the tieflings.
Right.
And they knew that he was powerful enough to reverse the Gesh spell or remove it because it requires some higher level spells,
Hmm.
or at least somebody casting at a higher level. The basic spell doesn't require the highest level spell slots, but it is something that would, because the Gesh spell has been cast with a high level spell slot, it requires a higher level spell slot to remove it. And he's powerful enough, potentially. Of the people they've heard of or met.
Hmm.
There may be others, but they might not know who they are.
Well, who knows, guys? Maybe we'll find one of his simulacrums running around somewhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere, those guys. They're like
True.
pizza delivery people.
Hmm. And maybe if we go to the tower, I can find some clues about the real Agamemnon's whereabouts.
Would
Who
the real
knows?
Agamemnon please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
Oh my god. Parody waiting to happen.
Absolutely. I'm going to be the D&D version of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yay!
That guy is awesome.
Mhm.
He is so intelligent. Okay.
So I vote for going to the heavily guarded wizard tower, personally, but I put it to the party.
The heavily guarded wizard tower. What could possibly go wrong there?
High risk, high reward.
Sometimes just high risk.
Just
Still
think of all
think
the
the
cool
museum.
stuff we can get.
But is it guarded by the Centrum or is it guarded by the wizards of Neverwinter? It's easier to persuade the wizards and to kill the Centrum. So
Yeah, those wizards are weird.
Aren't we welcome into the tower or something? Because we saved that guy.
Which guy?
what guy?
Is he alive?
What
A
guy?
guy. What was his name? The old
Daria.
guy.
We can say that we
Daria.
bring news of him. I don't know even if he survived. We left.
I'm sure he's fine.
He was even older.
Didn't he like put in a good word for us or something? I surely remember him saying, "You are all always welcome in the Cloak and Stars."
Did he say that?
Yeah.
No.
Sophie, are you gaslighting me?
I'm gaslighting myself.
I
Oh,
would much
well.
more
I don't have any
expect to see
gems. I don't know what you're talking about.
posters.
But you did know this Scorch fellow, didn't you, Charlotte?
Of course, he was my mentor, my teacher.
That should at least give us an audience with them, I think.
I think they'll hear us out.
The thing
If they're
is,
not puppets.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if it was a scroll or something, I didn't need to use it. I just had to copy it, so I wouldn't even need to take anything.
Yeah, but can you
Copying
cast it at the highest level it needs to
Oh.
have the
copying
power
a
behind
scroll
it?
destroys the scroll.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
true.
copy for free from a spell book, but a scroll
mhm.
would be destroyed.
Okay. Hoo-hoo. Well, I mean, we can try. We can certainly try.
You can always try.
And I mean, Zenise has invisibility, also learn invisibility, but it would take a while.
You can learn invisibility from me.
No, from the spell book.
What spellbook?
Yeah.
I think the one from the Red Wizard, the one we fought at the
Oh.
graveyard.
That's right.
Mm.
Ooh, what spells does he have? Forgot.
Mm,
You
Oh,
guys
I
are
only
only looking
wrote-
at it now.
I only wrote invisibility and magic circle for me.
Yes, animate the darkness, magic missile, detect good and evil, detect magic, cause fear and alarm.
Interesting.
Did you say
Very
animate
interesting.
dead?
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
And
But
did
for
we
me,
get other
copying
one?
invisibility would take 6 hours.
Invisibility would take 6 hours to learn.
Yeah, I think so, because it's a 3rd level spell, and it's 2 hours per spell level.
Invisibility is a second level spell.
It's 2nd level. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Then only 4 hours. Sorry.
It's okay.
That makes it much easier. Do you think I should try to learn it before we go into there?
Heard.
Would be
Alright.
nice.
Can I learn it at the same time?
One person can use a spell book to learn at a time. You can't both do it,
Oh.
but you could potentially take turns.
Okay, that's fine with me.
I mean, it wouldn't take that long for you, would it?
No, it's like 10 minutes for me. Because I am a
Sheldon.
scribe.
Well, okay.
Laura's like sitting there banging her head against the desk. Her
Yeah.
horns are chipping off.
How do you
Like,
do it?
why can't I learn this thing? Sophie's just sitting there going, oh, 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 oh. I'm done.
I have
What are
17 intelligence.
Wow.
One of those annoying kids who finishes the test early and then makes sure everybody else knows. Finished. Everybody else is like, fuck off. I'm trying to concentrate. Oh, yeah, if you haven't gotten it already, you'll never get it. I literally did that. I felt so bad, but at the time, I just wanted to get out. I was taking my SATs, and I was like, I finished it, checked it twice, and I had like an hour left, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I got up. I said, have you checked it? I said, yes, I have checked it. I've checked it twice. And everybody else just looked up at it like, fuck. I walked out with daggers, like people staring daggers at me. Just all right. Okay, good. You're all set. You've got a strategy. It'll take you the better part of well, an extra 4 hours and 10 minutes apparently, because one of you is a bit of a slowpoke when it comes to studying.
I study
Maybe
at my own pace.
Maybe if you were a better student, you wouldn't have killed your parents.
Oh my god! You can't just say that.
Give
Is
me
what
my
she
notebook.
probably says to herself every night when she cries herself to sleep.
Yeah. I need to get better.
If only I were better. If only I had 17 intelligence.
I wish I was as smart as Charlotte.
I know that was a bit crossing the line there.
Oh my god, imagine somebody said that in character.
Yeah.
Let me just save that.
Just the sheer intake of air would deplete the entire room of oxygen.
Well, I will give you side eyes while you copy the spell in too fast pace. Mhm.
Do you like try to be helpful even though you know that there's nothing you could possibly do to make it better for her?
Yeah.
Or like try to screw her up on purpose? No, you've
Oh,
got
look at this.
No.
Do it like that. I always do it like that.
You missed
particularly
that
bad
punctuation
habits.
mark and that special character. That's gotta be caps.
Like counting when someone else is counting.
Yeah. 5, 6, 20, 21, it's just 22. No, fuck, shut up. I think Yvonne is actually pretty mean when she's messing around with people.
No, I'm actually not.
Because I didn't think about counting right away. Yes, very good. Okay. Anything else besides learning the spell invisibility for the both of you? Which is going to cost how much between the two of you? 200 gold.
200
So-
altogether. Yeah.
So Sophie, Charlotte doesn't cost gold or doesn't need
Actually,
gold?
I cost gold.
Oh, okay.
But isn't it
You're
50
expensive.
GP per spell?
Okay, it's just that
fast
spell.
your copying time is reduced.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish it didn't cost gold.
I know.
That would be cool.
And then you guys would be super powerful
Mhm.
as Zenise cries into her fireball.
It's a good
I can,
fireball.
I can only do this. Wha-bam, 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 wha-bam.
Twice. Two.
I have to use or renew my portent.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
And maybe learn a word or two.
Okay.
Just one.
What'd your portent come out as?
17 and 8.
Oh, that's not bad. One of
That's
them's
okay.
definitely useful. Yeah.
Maybe life.
Something hard.
Oh,
What?
It's
Life? What?
easy.
life.
Life. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Why life?
Życie.
Well, life is good.
Okay.
Can you repeat it?
Życie.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Życie.
What?
Życie.
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 Oh. But when you say it quickly, it sounds different.
Yeah.
She says, yeah.
Ż-
Mhm.
Życie.
Życie. Życie.
Życie. Życie. And then she goes, życie, which is like
Życie.
completely sounds.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
And I think I wanna. I wanna change spells and change from magic missile to invisibility then.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
Yes.
I'll change a spell to I'll change absorb elements to invisibility.
Okay. Ida, would you like to do something before you get
Yes.
rudely cut off again?
I want to change ceremony. I don't want that anymore. To gentle repose, which I really hope I don't need to use.
Oh.
Ah,
You want to post it for everybody so they can see
Yes.
just how negative you think this is going to go?
already did. And I also want to remove protection from evil and good. To guiding bolt.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to cast Good Berries and give 2 to my party.
Yay.
Well done.
Oh, thank you. Those look delicious.
Do you eat it now?
No, I wish.
Okay. They also double as earplugs in case anybody wants to stop the snoring. But they do leave your ears stained purple. Has anyone ever had purple yam ice cream?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh. It's very good, but it's the one that I had, it left my entire mouth purple. My lips, my tongue, the interior, my teeth, everything was stained purple. It was like that for like a day.
Gosh. Is that it for our long rest?
Yeah, is there anything else anybody wants to do? Speak up now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Nothing from Mealy then?
Nope.
Okay. So what is it you guys are doing?
Well, I
Going
vote
to the
museum.
tower?
She's voting
What?
tower. I still think the
Okay.
museum's the best initial spot, but I don't know.
I mean, we could do both.
Mm.
How close is the museum to the tower?
The tower is near the main castle. The museum is not that far away from that. That's all part of in the nice section of town, basically. That makes sense.
And the museum wasn't as guarded, right?
It's a museum.
The only thing is that the museum, we have to steal something. At the Wizard Tower, we could try to persuade them to help us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good point.
I thought Charlotte's whole plan was to break into the tower and steal the better stuff at the tower. That's what she said. Imagine all the stuff we can get.
Yeah. Oh, that's that's only after they let us in, and then when we're in, we
Rob them blind.
basically. Well, that's one
What?
plan. We don't have to go that way. We could beseech them to assist us. It's the boring option, but yes, we could do that.
It's just, I don't think we should make more enemies than we already have here.
Yes.
It's very pragmatic of you, Mieli.
I'm trying. I do want stuff, but mission comes
Mealy-
first.
Mealy's the adult in the room. She's
Yeah.
don't touch anything. Between Mealy and Lilith, it's like don't touch anything, stick to the plan.
You don't know Shock and Grasp, do you?
I do. I do.
It's
And
bringing back
my
the
fingers start
memories.
sparking.
Imagine if you could really use shock and grasp in real life to keep your
That'd be
kids
so
from doing
good.
the things or people that you don't want to touch things.
I'm just thinking of like self-defense purposes.
Mm.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's a built-in taser.
Yeah.
Bzz.
Or when you're in the queue to get on the tube and somebody in front of you is a bit slow with their Oyster card. Just, come on,
Oh,
hurry up.
yeah.
Mm,
I
no.
hate Star Walkers. I would do that all the time.
It's like and when it's really busy and everybody's there, everybody's in the queue, everybody knows the system. You've done it like a million times. It's obvious. Why are you waiting to get to the front to then go look for your Oyster card? And you stop and everybody's kind of walking through really quickly, right? You just kind of do, and then somebody stops short, and suddenly there's like a 6-person pile up behind them. It's so frustrating. And you just want to go, get out of the way, you old fool. Zzz.
Fireball.
Laura, how did you go from a cantrip to a level 3 spell?
Fireball is always the solution.
Fireball is always the solution.
Whether it's a good
Yes.
one, I don't know. But
Okay. So we have all the spells we need, I think.
Mm.
And what is the actual plan then? So you guys are still deciding, or
Yeah,
No, I think we're going to the tower.
we are going to the tower. Okay, sure.
I just wondered if there's like some sort of connecting tunnel between the museum and the tower, because you know these wizards, they pop up all over the place and they're not teleporting. Maybe they just sort of like maybe there's tunnels.
the DM could create a tunnel for you for that reason, but he's not going to.
Damn. No 2 for 1 today.
I'm just going to quickly cast Mage Armor before we start off, just in case.
Just one thing. There are 2 tieflings with us.
Right.
Mm.
Do we have kind of a cloak with a hood on it so you can try and disguise your her heritage?
Disguise self would have been good, I guess.
I don't have that.
I have this pot you can wear.
On your
We
head?
should-
That's right.
Oh, I wish we had that old hat. That I don't remember who
Yeah.
took it eventually, but it was a large
Oh, yeah.
pumpkin.
If only somebody had seen the utility of it. I remember handing it out at the time, and everybody was like,
I don't remember. I think it says in the journal who took it eventually. It
What
was
hat?
no, it was long before any of you.
Oh.
I think it was before we even got to Schult.
yeah. But it was
Before our
greeted.
time, is it?
It was
Yeah.
greeted with very little enthusiasm at the time.
Someone eventually took it, so
It was one of those, I guess I'll take it.
What is
I don't
it?
have it.
Hamlet of
it was
Pumpkin.
a pumpkin
Mm.
hat, and you could cast bark skin or something. If I
Mm-hmm.
remember correctly.
Yep.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
good. Well
someone did
done.
take that.
Well
Well,
done,
there's so many
Henrietta.
things in the bag of holding. Surely there's something in there that can help. Let's take a look. Hmm.
Are we going through the sewers again?
I think we need to get out of here, but I don't know what way to go to the wizard's tower through the sewers, and I don't think any of us have a map either.
Sophie's Charlotte's your map.
But not of the sewers.
Oh, no. Sorry. Yes, that's right.
I feel
Kindling.
so naked without my armor.
I know how we feel.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, you feel naked without your armor.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
We can
Mm.
put it on as soon as we get out of here. Just need to sneak out again. Are the tieflings allowed to leave this area? To walk inside the prison? Not the prison, leave the prison, but inside. Can they go out in the courtyard and stuff like that?
Well, why don't you ask one of them?
Okay. Are you allowed to go outside in the courtyard and stuff? Can you freely move inside the prison?
During the day, we're allowed to move about within the compound. We can go and get food when it's served. We're allowed to exercise in the courtyard, and we can move between several of the buildings, including some of the barracks and the administrative building. We're not allowed inside the main barracks that house some of the Zentrum troops in Neverwinter. And we're only allowed to patrol with the Zentrum during the day. At night, we sometimes go out on patrols as well with the Zentrum, but that's usually a more heavily guarded group. Fewer of us, more of them.
I was just thinking that maybe you could go outside in the courtyard and see if there are any guards or anything so we can sneak out the way we came in.
Oh, well, once the curfew's been imposed, we're supposed to stay inside. If there's an emergency, we can go out and get help, or they can let us out and we can go and be taken care of if something needs to be done in the infirmary.
Okay, how early can you start to walk about?
They usually open the doors when the sun rises.
Okay. So after that, you can go and have a look out, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But aren't you learning the spells? Aren't you learning the invisibility spell?
Well, still it's suspicious that you have a half orc, 2 elves, and a human inside here. We can't just parade out of the prison. We need to kind of sneak out. Right?
But you can cast invisibility on each of you.
But then we waste a lot of spells.
Well,
You
that's
might
true.
need them.
Yes, fair enough.
Wait, so where's the infirmary?
It's behind the other barracks.
So you wouldn't get punished if it wasn't really a bad emergency, but if you caused a distraction, we could sneak out.
What did you have in mind?
I don't know, someone gets injured somehow, and while you're being taken out to the infirmary, we kind of slip out.
No, I suppose we could try to engineer something. It's not, I mean, getting a volunteer to be deliberately injured isn't the easiest sell, but
Well, what about Una? She's old. Old people have medical things.
She could fade a heart attack.
Yeah. Or just pass out. She could trip and
yes.
fall, injure herself.
It's starting to sound like a medic alert.
Sue the
Commercial.
jailer. Yeah. Trip and fall case. I've heard all about it. Yeah.
Yes.
We know that kid can make a lot of noise.
Lollipop. Well, yes, but yes, I think that would work. Yes, we can. Mother, would you mind? Oh, I don't mind. I have been feeling a bit unwell, a bit unsteady on my feet.
Maybe
Suppose.
do it on your way to breakfast or something so that we don't get the symptom in here.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'll be honest. I've had a few servings of porridge that I didn't think were very, very fresh. It wouldn't be hard to imagine someone got a bad batch. Right. Well, we'll take care of that then, and then you'll scurry on out. How shall we stay in touch? And are we supposed to be doing something in the meantime?
That's the hard part. So if you disobey Vidar's orders, your grandma is going to get hurt, right? But is it?
Well, she's not my grandmother, but
Nah, but grandma, it's a kind of a common term. Nana or Una or what?
we
Yeah,
call her
matron. Yeah.
mother.
Okay, matron, mother. She's going to get hurt if you disobey orders, but is it instantaneous, or do the center need to kind of get the message to Vidar first, or maybe you don't know? I guess you haven't tried.
We haven't tried. Our understanding is that it is a magical compulsion. It is a charm.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
she made the deal. Well, she was cursed, but does that transfer over to your actions? Not just hers?
she needs to comply by the rules, and that includes, as part of the contract, that she has to do everything she can within her power to prevent a breach of the contract by us. So if she knew about something and she failed to report it, that would be a breach. If she actively participated, that would be a breach. If she did not participate in preventing a breach, that would be a breach. The only way to avoid it, really, that I can think of, and we've philosophized over this, but we're not 100% certain, we think, is to knock her unconscious or to otherwise incapacitate her. But as soon as she was awake, she would know, and then the spell would immediately kick in.
Right.
And that, of course, excludes anything she would do herself. As soon as she does something, of course, that would be a breach as well. So she couldn't actively participate. So even if we escaped, which the problem is we have enough power to get out, we think. Some of us might not make it. But for those of us who have discussed it, we're willing to take that risk. And we hope that self-preservation on their part will exceed our desire on our part, so that as soon as they start taking losses, they'll back off. The problem is we don't know where we're going after that. We don't have a safe haven to run to, and they would eventually run us down. And we couldn't take Matron Mother or Lollipop, because as soon as they left, the spell would kick in. And this also counts if they're conscious of it and they resist, but they're still taken. So it's not even a case where we could just kidnap them and take them with us.
Right.
Unless we kept them unconscious until we could find a gash.
We don't know for certain that would work. We believe that may work. We haven't tested it, obviously. And to be honest, I don't think Lord Vidar is the one to accept an excuse as a test. You know, if the spell were triggered and it turned out that we were testing it, I don't think he would be very forgiving. He wouldn't kill our leverage, but he might make examples of some of the rest of us, which would somewhat offset. It would just leave us weaker without having gained anything.
But I think that the perfect time for you to escape is now, with the army outside.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
are not going to follow you. Well, they have to worry about the army outside.
Well, we didn't know that the army was tied to somebody who would be friendly to our cause. We were told and have been consistently reminded that up until the time that we signed a contract, it seemed the whole world were either hunting us or at least not friendly not even indifferent, but genuinely hostile. I think these two young ladies will attest to the cold and unwelcome reception that tieflings generally receive, regardless of their backgrounds. Now, if you're saying that you control that army and you can guarantee our safety, then of course that changes the calculus. But we didn't have that option until you arrived.
Right.
The other option is we simply let the matron mother and Lollipop fall victim to the Gesh spells, and the rest of us make our way out. And as I said before, it's been debated. The minority are still in favor of not doing anything. But again, that was somewhat tempered by the fact that we didn't have an alternative option anyway, so the whole argument seemed a bit moot.
Right.
If we had a vote now, I'm not sure that we wouldn't win, leaving the two behind or leaving them to their fates, as cold-hearted as that is.
Right. I'm just worried that if we take too long, the army is going to get restless, and we have some control over it, but they want payday. And then you are going to get forced to attack them, and they will get forced to attack you, and there will be a lot of casualties.
Yes.
But we, let's see, how far away is the Wizard's Tower? Could we at least try? I think we have at least a day. If we can get to the tower, get some help, remove the curse on Nana and Lollipop, then you all can leave.
Well, we don't know how to use the sewers like you have. Walking the streets, when we're on patrol, we don't really have the freedom to travel there directly. And we don't normally patrol that part of the town because it's so well managed by the Neverwinter militia that where our presence is neither needed nor typically welcome. But generally speaking, traversing the city should be manageable within space of a few hours, depending on traffic and whether or not there are any checkpoints. You will have to pass through at least one major checkpoint on one of the interior walls just to get into that square. Probably two, because it's on the opposite side of the river as well, and there are typically checkpoints on each of the bridges. There are alternative ways around those besides using the sewers. You can go under cover of darkness and try to swim or hire a rather unscrupulous ferryman, or even climb under the bridges. There are people I know who have managed to climb along the edges of the bridges. You can do that. It's not guaranteed you won't fall into the river and be swept away, but we know people do that. Those typically who get to that quarter have some sort of official business. They are residents, they are the rich and the powerful, or they are government officials. Some of the more powerful and wealthy merchants that don't live there have their businesses there. But otherwise, it's essentially a segregated quarter.
We know a tailor there.
Yeah.
And she laughs, and then she realizes, oh, you're serious.
Well, I mean, look at my clothes. That's an excuse.
Quite. Yes, if you say so.
I'm just also thinking, could Sinise message this Scorch spell? So that
I didn't met him. I just made Miracle.
yeah, but I was thinking message the simulacrum. If he's here.
I can try.
Agamemnon's Scorch has been missing for years.
Yeah, but the simulacrum.
Oh, the simulacrum. Well, she can try to message the one she's met.
Yeah. Or we could message Euripides and he could meet us and at one of the checkpoints and just say that we are his apprentices or something. His bodyguard or something. Get us inside.
Do you guys want to take a little break?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think some people are bursting. All right. I can hear the stress in your voices now. All right, good. Let's call it 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
hold my
earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
all right, folks, what are we going to do? So you guys are going to the Wizard's Tower first, is my understanding.
Sophie hasn't unmuted yet.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to ask a question, maybe. About locate object. Sorry, I think you had that spell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either an object specific to you, or the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. So if I were to look for, let's say, a remove curse scroll, would that work? Because it is a specific scroll.
Hello.
Hello. Or would that be too, I don't know, abstract?
That's a good question. Let me double check the spell. I'm just doing something here. One sec. Hang on.
No stress. All good.
Every time you say, I would like to ask a question, my blood pressure goes up like 10 units.
I'm sorry.
And yet you still do it.
You're just all knowing, you know. You always
No,
have an answer.
now you're just patronizing. Describe her name.
No, I mean it.
That is familiar to you.
Mm.
Let's see, a specific object known to you, as long as you've seen it up close. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. And then, of course, you can't go through lead. And the range is 1,000 feet, which is not that far. But in a dense city, it's probably, you can probably get a big chunk of the city. Yeah, probably, it should work.
Oh, okay, cool.
Since she asked so
Alright.
nicely,
Thank you.
instead of we talked about this. Get it straight. No, I mean, I do think it makes sense that it should work, assuming it's not covered by lead, which any smart wizard is probably going to have some protections, whether or not it includes lead, because it's just a wizard spell right there. They're gonna know
Yeah.
how to protect against wizard spells.
Could be the case. Doesn't hurt to try though.
It's a good idea. Yeah, so if you're being very specific and saying a scroll of locate object, then yeah,
Mhm.
I'd say that could work. If you were trying to be more generic, any way I could, any magical item that would allow me to cast the spell locate object, which may include a scroll, but in theory could include other things, then probably it would not work.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so what else are you guys doing?
I mean, I think
You're
I'd
going
like
to
to
the
ask.
wizard tower, right? Or okay, sorry, go you go you go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just wanted to ask Zenise if she had locate object prepared and share my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have my spells always prepared.
She's a
Um,
sorcerer.
You're one of those. Yeah, right.
One of those what? One of what?
One.
What?
Uh-huh.
Be very careful how you finish that sentence.
Um.
One of
Yeah.
I'm
what?
listening.
One
I'm
of
listening.
those
Those what?
sorcerers. One of those wonderful sorcerers. I've heard so much about.
Continue.
Wow, that's so impressive.
That was close.
As a wizard, I could never.
Man, that was close.
18 intelligence versus 18 charisma.
Yeah, exactly. She almost pulled a Charlotte out there.
Well, I was thinking that maybe, I mean, I know that the Gesh spell can be, well, how do you call it? Removed
Oh my god.
by by several spells. One of them would be remove curse, which I could also cast. So I was thinking if maybe you could locate a scroll, remove curse.
Well, of course, for you. Since you're so nice. Yes.
Thank you so much. Wow. So
Maybe just
powerful.
wait
Bar.
until we get into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
This
smart.
is just 10 minutes.
Okay. So getting
Yeah.
into the city, are we gonna try and get what's his head to meet us at a gate? Or at a pass point or something? The tailor? What's his name again? Your buddy.
Euripides.
Yeah.
His full name is Euripides Iphixides.
Yeah.
That annoying
Let's
little
forget
man.
about that second part.
That little annoying man saved Charlotte from a life of being squashed to death.
And she
talks.
tried
do
to
that.
sell him.
I'll just be sure that I won't show myself to him when we go see him. Zenith will have to do all the talking.
Why?
Don't
What
remind
do you
him.
mean why?
Don't remind him. Just
He's just friendly with Zenith, that's why. Shall we go?
yeah.
Charlotte, you wanna say a cool picture?
No. Now is not the place. I need to stay focused.
Missing something? What happened? What? I feel like I missed out on the joke. Okay.
Just watch it back afterwards.
Watch what back afterwards?
The recording.
Oh, this recording? Oh, the one where Sophie says she can't hold it?
I was just channeling Jean Grey.
Did Jean Grey also have a small bladder?
No, but no, but she says that a lot.
Oh. I read those comic books. I don't remember Phoenix ever complaining about not being able to hold it in when she
Maybe
was
like in the,
destroying half the universe.
I think maybe it was before Phoenix.
Well, even that. Maybe that's why she became Phoenix. She was so angry that she had such a small bladder.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. So the Wizard's Tower it is, right? You guys are walking your way over to the Wizard's Tower?
Yes.
But maybe, I don't know, we could. Do we want to cast Locate Object right before, in front of the Wizard's Tower, or what do you guys think?
We can cast it before maybe some shops have.
Sounds good.
Yeah, maybe at the tailor shop, so nobody sees us casting.
I thought the scroll would be there. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can cast it without anyone see it.
And which scroll are you looking for?
The remove curse scroll.
Okay.
And quick question, what about me? I'm a little noticeable.
Well, you've got two tieflings. What's the solution there?
Well, just because I'm not totally clear on how half-orcs are, how shall I say, used
Oh yeah.
in this part of the world.
People, well, literally since the orcs just attacked the city, you're going to get pelted at best with, rotten vegetables, if not
Yeah.
arrested immediately.
So, are there any half-orc slaves in this town?
You guys haven't really walked around town very much. You can ask Charlotte about it.
Yeah. Charlotte, were there any, half-orc slaves or half-orcs in town before?
I will try to remember if I've seen any during my time on the docks or during my time in the tutelage of Agamemnon in Neverwinter.
Let me
Okay.
check my memory.
Your memories.
Say that.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give it a twirl.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. So you do remember seeing a few of them. Most of them were parts of the crews of various ships that mostly sailed south from Luskan, which is they came from the north and they sailed south to Neverwinter because Luskan is in the north relative to where you are.
Okay.
There are also there were orcs and half orcs before the war or the assault or the siege, whatever you want to call it, who were part of the city infrastructure. Sometimes they were, hired mercenaries or guards. They very often had some sort of a violent, brutal role. Very few of them were, for example, florists. And there weren't very many of them to begin with. There are more halflings and elves running around, or half elves. Not a lot of elves, a few half elves, and more halflings, and the odd occasional dwarf. But they're on the rarer side. Of course, you haven't been in the city since the siege, so you don't know how much that's changed the complexion of the metropolitan population. For all you know, they could have all been rounded up and arrested or expelled or executed even as potential spies or traitors, or just as a function of, the mob.
Well, I'll relay that to Cracker, and I'll suggest maybe Maybe you'd blend in a bit more if you stood away your weaponry. Tried a little bit of another outfit. Some soap.
Like smile a bit more.
Like pull out my purple silk dress.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna throw that on over my skimpy outfit. And
Something about a silk purse, sow ear.
yeah.
I'll also prestidigitation her armpits. Clean them. And I'll fragrance them a little bit too.
The detail is exquisite.
This
I'm
is
gonna
what you
stow
keep
my
me-
I'll stow my weapons in the bag of holding, and I'm gonna secure that bag of holding to myself a little better. Just because I know we're in a town and there's a lot of
You're gonna,
thievery.
you're gonna strap it over one shoulder and one
Yep.
and your neck, and then hold it in front of you.
Yeah, hugging it. Because I'm just a slave, right? I'll just carry your things. So who am I slave to? Is it you, Charlotte?
Very well. Oh, but to be clear, Neverwinter is not a city that
Oh,
generally
right, no
condones
slavery.
slavery.
Okay, servant.
If you
Servant.
bring slaves in because you're not a local of Neverwinter, that's fine. They don't force you to, you know, emancipate your slaves just because you entered the city center. But you're not really allowed to be a resident and own slaves. So you can be a slave, but you'd have to have a good excuse for. You might get stopped for why you're a slave. But most people won't necessarily know you're a slave if you're just walking. Like if you're walking 3 steps behind somebody else, nobody knows that you're a slave necessarily. You could just be a servant or
Okay.
completely unrelated person. Unless you had like literally a chain around your neck, right? I mean, that would be pretty obvious.
I just don't think bodyguard would go over so well.
Especially not in that dress. Bodyguard to what?
I think you look pretty civilianish right now.
All right.
Do I still have those pictures? I still have those pictures somewhere. I might have to pull it out someplace if I can find them. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are on the street. Or sorry, you guys are. So are you guys taking the sewers? I forgot now. What's the plan?
I wasn't too sure. I know we were getting out through the disruption that they're causing at breakfast.
But you came in through the sewers, so you have to go out
Yeah.
through the sewers, unless
Yeah,
you're
I
going to
think we
break
do.
out, which would be quite. That would definitely alert people.
Maybe we just try and retrace our steps.
And then what? Are you going to take the streets to get there once you get to the main street? Because again, you came in through the sewers, and then you popped up, and then you've met Jet, who took you back through the sewers and then around the corners. He didn't take you through the sewers. He took you through some secret alleyways, and so you stayed above ground the whole time.
Mm.
Of
You guys
course.
think we're safe on the streets?
I don't know.
You don't think they've alerted the residents to our likeness, do you?
Well, I paid Jet a pretty penny.
We could use our code word and see if he helps us.
Mm.
We have to pay him again.
We have
This man's
very little
bleeding us
money left.
dry.
Yeah.
Funny how services work. Well, you know what they say about wealth. You can't take it with you.
Mm. I suppose I can give him my gems.
I love the grunting from Sophie about imaginary money.
Well, I don't have it in real life. I at least want to have it in game. Oh, very well. Let's just give him some more of my hard-earned gems. What was the code
Hard,
word again?
hard earned. It wasn't that hard earned. You didn't even have to kiss him for it.
I did.
It was more like, okay, I'm not going to argue. What was
No,
the
seriously,
code word?
what was the code word?
Oh God, does anybody remember where we parked?
Oh, it's hippogriff.
Yeah, you guys came up with that code word. You'd better remember it.
Hippogriff.
Heh.
It takes a few minutes. And through the bars of one of the windows set high above the floor level, you see something small and white fly through gently. It circles the room a little bit, and then it lands on your head, and it's a little paper bird. It looks like a little bit of origami in the shape of a bird.
I'll take it and unfold it.
And it said, "You called."
Okay, so he's around here somewhere, but how do I get this message back?
You can turn it over and write on it and send it back.
Well, sure. I'll use my magic quill that doesn't require any ink. And I'll write down.
Excellent.
I'll just post it. Austerity, as you say. We need to get out and get to the cloak. What was it? The Order of the Stars and Cloak, Order of the Cloak and Stars. We need to get to the Order.
It's actually officially called the Many-Starred Cloak, but
Oh my god.
yeah, that's why I
Tower of the Many-Starred Cloak. Please.
and you fold it up back up and you give it a good push and it just flitters off through the same window that from whence it came.
Wow.
A few minutes go by again, probably close to like half an hour at this point altogether. And another one comes back. Not easy to do. Best at night. If daytime, excursion, triple cost. Meet
No way.
me outside at our original departure point.
Oh, well, what do you guys think? Daytime? Nighttime?
Thinking
Now-
nighttime.
Nighttime. But didn't we want to go to Euripides first to cast Locate Object and visit him? Oh,
We have
Did
to
we
get
do that?
through. We have to get through the city to meet him.
yeah. That's hard.
What if we just show all our gold to the guys at the checkpoint? See, we are going on a shopping spree. Inside. With so much gold, they know we are important people.
Assuming they haven't seen any of you at the gates during the
Nah.
original interaction with Lord Vidar.
Well, that would mean everybody would have to get dressed up. We'd have to look hot.
We can all
ready
use the
to
wedding
shop.
dresses.
I think I know who's
Then
gonna.
then we can look all disguised and stuff.
You guys are turning into the Spice Girls,
I like
and
it.
I know who Scary Spice is.
Me.
You're Sporty Spice.
Yeah. Well, I think
Who's
that's the
Posh
best.
Spice?
Save some money anyway.
Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Love Posh Spice.
Yeah, you're definitely Posh Spice.
Okay, so are we? So we need to ask this guy to take us to the Euripides. Are we making our own way there, or
Kind of wonder if we could make our own way there.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Hmm.
way?
Save some coin.
We
Got
have
a
the
map.
map,
Yeah.
so we can at least navigate to probably one of the checkpoints to get into the finer part of the city.
Mhm.
Don't have to throw our money away.
Yeah, you think the money
Yeah.
is because you've got to get past checkpoints. Once you're in the rich quarter, it'll be a little bit easier. But you still would, if it was just Charlotte and maybe Lilith and Miley, it would probably be pretty straightforward once you're in that quarter. But because the rest of you stand out and are obviously not, either you're not really members of society generally, or you're not really supposed to be there. That's the hard part. So there's an element of, the hardest part is getting past the checkpoints. The second, but then for the three of you, that's still not going to get you complete freedom of movement within the wealthy quarter. But I mean, you know, Henrietta's idea of dressing up might, you flash all your gems and jewelry and you sort of, you brazen your way out of it, you might succeed. You never know. It's worth it. It's worth a roll. What could possibly happen?
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, we all have, I don't know, cloaks, don't we? Or, I don't know, stuff to conceal ourselves a bit with. You know, and if we travel by night, then
Then we have to wait until night.
yeah,
Well, again.
I think we'll wing
Mhm.
it. That's all I have to say.
But if we go to the checkpoint and you make yourself invisible,
Mm,
it's easier at least.
that's true.
And if we dress up and Charlotte wears her tiara and acts like Charlotte do, we shouldn't be able to get inside.
Isn't that a problem with how we recently tried to say that she was the rightful part of this town? Like she was gonna take over the army?
Yeah, but
Mm,
do the ones at the checkpoint know that? Were they at the gate? It's a gamble, but
They probably rotate and talk about it.
That's a very good point, Ida. Lilith. I'm loath to say this, but perhaps we really do need to spend a little bit of cash.
You mean gems?
Same thing.
Alrighty.
The question is, are we going to Euripides or are we going to the tower?
Well, I'm gonna leave that decision up to you guys because you know more about this magic stuff than I do.
Well, I
What
think
do you think, Denise? He's your boyfriend.
I cast minor illusion and show Charlotte a beautiful picture of her wedding.
No! Turn it off! Turn it off!
You said something?
I take it back. I'm sorry. Just turn that off.
Okay.
Sophie. You're terrifying, but you're also thin-skinned, so it's actually quite easy to blackmail you. And Taria's way too smart. Oh, poor Sophie. How was your game? Oh, I got blackmailed by everybody in my group.
That's just a lot in life, I fear.
Oh. You won't get much sympathy after having kicked everybody out of the house.
Well, I didn't
Okay,
listen to, but they're still there.
Oh, right. They're like, oh, fuck off. We're not leaving.
Yeah.
It'll be the last time you're invited on any trips, though.
Hope not.
Okay, cool. So where are you guys going?
I don't know. Why
Good
were you?
question.
What can Euripides offer us? Like, why are we going there in the first place?
Well,
I
for
thought
one,
your
we
idea
want
was to go there to get cover.
and to cast locate outside,
Right.
but we could
Okay.
also do
cast
that
it
somewhere
anywhere,
else. Yeah.
even in, I don't know,
Even inside.
in front of a guard. And he will know nothing.
So cool.
I mean, let's just go straight to the tower. We're on treating them as honest adventurers who are allied with Agamemnon. There's no point in trying to deceive them by pretending that we're all wizards. Let's just go straight to the tower. And if we need to, we can, I don't know, pay a trip to Euripides if it doesn't work out, maybe, and then get disguises there or something.
Okay.
Okay, so like purple dress on or purple dress off? I just need some fashion advice here.
Off.
All right. Cracker changes out of it.
Takes like 2 hours. With the makeup and the hair and everything else.
Oh no.
Oh no, I leave all that. That's good.
It looks so beautiful.
Okay.
So, we off to meet Jet.
So are you waiting till nightfall? Uh,
Yes.
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 okay. Okay. Sounds like enough yeses. All right. So you guys wait till night falls. Chirp,
Mhm.
chirp, 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 chirp. But then the problem is, how do you guys create a distraction? Thank you, Ida.
It wasn't me.
Thank you, Sophie. Remember, they're locked in during the from sundown to sunup.
Can't we get out in daytime and then wait till
Yes, you
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah, you
Yep.
can do that. Okay.
maybe
All right.
do that?
To speed things along, you guys get out during daytime. There is a sudden distraction in the courtyard. Somebody shouts, "She's fallen. She can't get up." And the next thing you know, there's a lot of hubbub and noises and shouting, and then it kind of all starts to slowly drift away. Same level of volume, but clearly there's increasing distance between the source of the noise and you guys. You guys look around outside the door. Luckily, all the guards that you can see don't seem focused on the courtyard. They're either focused on the commotion that was the distraction itself, or they're actually doing their jobs and keeping an eye out for the street as well. Since this is also a barracks and it's not an actual functioning prison, so they're not necessarily trying to keep people in. You get into your little sewer grate. You climb and shimmy your way down. Whatever you're wearing gets soiled again, but luckily you have prestidigitation. It doesn't dry out your clothes, so now you're all dripping wet, but at least it's not covered in filth. And you emerge in the alleyway from whence you originally came when you met Jet. You huddle, wet and shivering in the damp winter air in a doorway. Occasionally, a dark cloaked figure slashes by, see you. They get surprised, they jump back, and then they run off scurrying, keeping whatever secrets they have to themselves. As night falls, you realize none of you have eaten anything all day, and you're cold, unless some of you are using some of your fire-based powers to start a small bonfire. But of course, doing that would alert people to your presence. At the appointed time, Jet rolls up. He is driving what appears to be a very large cart. It is laden with bags and bales of hay and sacks. And he looks down and says, "Somebody called for a ride."
Cracker elbows Charlotte forward.
Yes, hello, it's us. Would you like
Let's
your
see the gems.
here you go. I'll open my beautiful box of gems.
And he selects 4 of the larger rubies and one, what were they? Rubies, and they weren't diamonds,
Diamonds.
were they? Were they
Yeah, they look
diamonds?
diamonds,
Yeah, okay. And he takes a medium-sized diamond.
Yeah.
All right. Hop on. Everybody
Oh,
take a
okay.
different sack. And then once you're done, huddle up next to each other, and I'll cover you with the bales of hay. I've got to deal with some of the guards, and they'll make sure not to poke around too much. We'll get past the checkpoints, and I'll get you in front of the Tower, the Many-Starred Cloak. Now, for a bit more, I'll wait around for you.
What do you think?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Suit yourself. And then he opens a very, very large sack and he indicates Cracker should climb in.
All right. I jump in.
And as you jump in, he pulls it up over you, and at the top of it, he cinches it tight. And then he sort of gently guides you to lie down. He helps you since you don't have access to your arms anymore to help stabilize. And you end up lying down on the wood floor of the buckboard. And he goes and proceeds through the next 5 of you, laying down next to each other, and then the second layer lays on top. Since Cracker's on the bottom, it's not super heavy. None of the rest of you are super heavy. But the 2 elves are on top, along with Charlotte, the tieflings being a little bit heavier as a result of all their sharp, heavy horns. And then you can all feel and hear as he starts pushing bales of hay around. And you can actually see a little bit through the burlap of the sacks. It's not very visible, but there's a little bit of a mesh that you can look through, and you watch slowly as the bales of hay cover you, and you lose access to any sight at all. And then he gives a little crack of the whip and the reins, and the team of horses pulls the cart forward, and you make your way slowly over the cobblestone streets. It is nighttime already by now. There's not a whole lot of traffic. You don't hear a lot of activity on the streets. It's primarily just the sound of your wagon wheels rattling along over the uneven surfaces of the stones. At some point, he stops. There's some muffled sounds of a conversation. You don't hear it clearly because you're all covered in bales of hay. Everybody roll a d6. Okay. Zenice. As you're laying there, you can all hear the conversation start to get a little bit louder. And finally, you hear Jet clearly, almost. Well, if you're going to poke it, don't damage the potatoes. And you feel a gentle kick through the bale of hay. And the next thing you know, Zenice gets poked with a spear.
Again.
Again.
Oh.
I know, I felt bad, but it was...
Oh,
Zenice gets 5 points of damage. Daria, you can roll a concentration check, constitution check, basically, to try to Maintain your calm and not give it away.
Do I get the advantage because it's the second time?
Sure.
22.
Wow.
Thank God.
You don't need no stinking advantage. Well done, Daria. And nothing happens. And then you hear Jet shout, "See? Satisfied?" And you hear the click of the reins and a lurch as the cart starts moving forward again. And he continues on his way. A short while later, you feel the cart slow down. And a few moments after that, one of the bales of hay is lifted and he reaches down and he grabs Zanice by the shoulders and he pulls the sack down over her head and says, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, not the first time.
I'm sorry about that. My usual man, apparently he got into some sort of fight over at the tavern and he's been arrested. I didn't know about it. So there's some new uppity lieutenant who wants to make a name for himself. Everything's by the book. Here, drink this. You'll feel better. And he offers you a red potion that he holds up to your lips as you're still in the sack.
Okay, thanks.
As you drink it, the warmth of the healing potion floods through your body. You immediately feel better, and you recover all the lost hit points. You're not even sure if it leaves a scar, to be honest. But there is a bit of blood on the sack itself, which nobody can really see because you're still buried under bales of hay. And then he looks at you and says, "You right? Shall we continue?"
Thanks. Of course.
Okay. And
Let's
he
go.
ties you back up again, recovers everybody with the bales of hay. Just be another 15 minutes or so. As promised, about 15 minutes later, although it feels like an eternity, considering you're all buried, you feel the cart come to another stop. He slowly lifts all the bales of hay, helps each and every one of you get out. And you find yourselves on a street. Now, I know the screen is black right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. You look up and you see a bizarre image of what seems to be a tower that is bent at very odd angles. Can you see this image?
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right. There are some completely physical abnormalities about this tower, aside from the structural integrity appearing not to be able to support itself at the odd angles. There are bits of material, possibly boulders or something else, floating above it. They look to be made of rock or stone, but clearly something is keeping them in place, suspended above the ground. And it's a steep walk up to the top of the hill that the tower is situated on. That's the tower. Now, I've never been inside it. And as far as I know, I think there's some sort of a secret passcode or password. I'm not even sure you can find the door. Supposedly, only those gifted or who have a special device or an invitation can even find that. So, good luck. I'll wait here for a couple of minutes in case you need a quick retreat. Of course, if that service is needed, you'll have to pay me, but I can take you someplace else.
Thank you.
You.
I'm gonna look at Charlotte. Be like, do you know the way?
I'll try to remember how we got in last time with Agamemnon. Simulacrum.
Yeah. History or Arcana. I'll let you do Arcana.
Let me scroll very slowly. There we go. Arcana. Yeah.
So the hard part is getting to the top and then finding the entrance. You don't know for sure what it was that Agamemnon Simulacrum did. At the time that you came to visit, you were not who you are today. Your understanding of magic, the weave, and various types of spells was far more limited. You remember that Agamemnon waved his hand and then touched the side of the tower, physically touching it. And at that point, there was a glow and a doorway suddenly appeared as if by revelation, as a result of the dissolution of a magical spell. You don't exactly remember the word, and you don't remember exactly what the hand gesture was.
Oh, good.
Building.
I don't suppose you've come across those things in your studies, Byleth?
Well, maybe I've heard of it. I mean, Silvery Moon isn't that far from Neverwinter.
Sure. And it's very magical. You maybe.
History or Arcana?
You can choose. Or if there's another one that you think is a good alternative, you can choose that too.
I think history is good since I would have encountered it in my studies. So
Possibly. Yeah.
10.
Boy, you two really are the
A long-
similarities. It's like the two of you are in the back of the class, just like gossiping the whole time and doodling and not paying attention. And then like when it comes to quiz time, you're both trying to copy off each other's notes and you both have the same doodle. I thought you were taking notes. Okay, so apparently you don't remember the details either, but you do know that very often the code word is either the name of the person who is currently the head of the guild or a senior member of the guild or a founder of the guild.
Oh. Okay.
What was the name of that old guy from the graveyard on the tower?
If only you still had his body.
Just a wizard. Wizard man.
Red cloak guy.
How tall is the building?
It's very tall. I mean, the physical appearance is intimidating. As an elf, you've seen things like this before, but typically humans don't construct towers like this. It's somewhat distorted by the fact that clearly there's some magic involved, because anybody with any decent common sense of that construction would know that this thing shouldn't be able to stand the way it's built. So it's a little bit hard to tell.
Okay.
But it's
That's just-
certainly taller than the tower that you encountered in Leylon.
Yeah. I was just thinking that, Charlotte, you have the spell message, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
I do.
Yeah, you met the simulacrum, didn't you, Pallas?
Yeah.
Just start pointing at the tower and try and casting message. See if he answers.
Well.
Like standing outside your friend's house, texting them.
Exactly.
Or throwing
I'm-
small rocks at the window.
I'm outside.
I'm outside. Help me.
It's freezing and the pizza's getting cold.
Well, I can only do it if I know that he's beyond the barrier. And Unfortunately, I don't know.
I mean, at that point, can you just magically enhance your voice and start calling? Maybe they'll come and we can play not
Yeah,
polite.
and everyone else will come.
A lot of attention, just what we need.
That or a sending spell.
Mm.
I was just hoping to not use our spells. That. And Denise didn't meet him either, so
Adrian! Stella!
I'll just face I'll face the wall and say, Agamemnon Scorch. Is it here? Is the door here? Did it work?
Well, you have to touch it. You have to touch the
Oh,
wall.
I'll touch the wall and say, Agamemnon Scorch.
And a silhouette of a door
Oh my
lights up.
Wow!
That was fucking amazing.
You're a genius.
She does have 17 intelligence, you know.
Remember, guys,
Well, that-
I would never forget that.
I'll turn and look very smug at my partner.
Oh my god. Girl.
Well, well, well.
Well done, Sophie. Point of inspiration to Sophie. Yes. And the door is there and it opens and you step inside.
Yay.
It reveals a circular cylindrical chamber that looks completely devoid of any markings. You can all put yourselves in the middle there somewhere.
Hello.
The wall opposite the door suddenly comes to life. Oh, sorry. Never mind the little harpy at the bottom. That wasn't supposed to be there. The tower is currently unoccupied. State your business.
I am the apprentice of Agamemnon Scorch. I'm here with my companions to seek aid from the wizards.
The tower is currently unoccupied. Assistants to Agamemnon Scorch have limited access to the tower. You may access the library, the main meeting room, and the guest chambers.
Oh, lovely. Well then, ladies, I say we start in the library.
Good idea.
Lead the way.
Brilliant idea.
Okay, door, take us to the library. Please.
Library function.
Oh.
Well, that's quite useful. So do you want to cast that spell now?
I can try.
Okay.
And look for remove curse.
You cast the spell and it starts to ping off in one side of the room under a pile of books.
Sherlock, look there.
From previous experience, I would say it's very dangerous to touch another wizard's spellbook.
It's a
So
scroll.
it's
I'm looking
underneath some
specifically for scroll.
books.
Just use your mage hand to move the books.
Okay. Um, they
It is a
shall-
library, so you should be able to use the
Oh
stuff
yeah, it's a
that they-
library. I'm gonna
Very wise
cast
of you.
False Life on myself.
I'm gonna walk up to Cracker and ask if I can have my armor from the bag of
Yep.
holding.
Cracker pulls out her axe. You bet.
Okay. I'm gonna do it,
This means
guys.
it's dangerous.
Just let me get my armor on.
I'm just
Let
gonna
me
Very
cheer
help
you
you
on
I'm
blissfully.
gonna help her put it on.
Okay, everybody's all prepared, all set up.
Wait. Actually, my mage hand is 60 feet, so I'm just gonna go as far away as possible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good plan.
Feet.
Good plan. Everybody back.
Okay,
I'm readying my great axe in case something attacks us.
and a little scroll is revealed as you push books off of it.
Okay.
Wait, Charlotte, do you have detect magic?
I do, but I can imagine that it's gonna go pinging off everywhere in this room. They are in a wizard's tower, after all.
Yes, but around the scroll, something different, like a trap.
Okay, I'll give it a try. I'll cast detect magic, but I'll use my my feet thingy from Order of the Scribes that lets me cast it without spending 10 minutes as a ritual, you know.
Okay.
Where's that thing? I'll make it appear in the chat.
Yep.
Here it is. It's like the 1, 2, 3, 4
Yep.
paragraph.
Perfect. Excellent. Yes, it goes off, and it's got one of those trappy spells on it.
Ah.
You're right. It's a trap.
Well, I mean, people aren't going to just leave magical scrolls laying about.
Hmm.
A library. The place of shared knowledge. These
Yeah.
wizards.
People steal stuff from libraries.
Yeah,
You leave
it's
your
an evil place.
backpack unattended in the library. There's a half a chance your iPad or your iPhone's not going to be there when you get back.
Okay, so how do we? Do we have dispel magic?
I can try to dispel it.
It won't dispel the magic of the scroll, right?
I don't think so.
Well,
I
you
think you can choose what to
you can
dispel.
choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, post it. You can choose.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
choose the magical effect, so
Oh.
that makes sense.
Okay. So you cast Dispel Magic, and it does remove the glyph of warding that was attached to the spell scroll, but leaves the scroll itself unharmed.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Well done. You guys have found your remove curse spell.
Assuming that it's completely now safe, I will levitate it towards us with the mage hand.
Okay.
Should we just sit down and copy it here, or
Yeah.
guess this is as safe a place as any?
Yeah. I can't cast it on a higher level, right? It's just it removes a curse. Okay.
So
Then that makes sense.
Well, I say we make use of the guest room to do that.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Door.
sure there's been something prepared for us.
Oh, 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 oh. Wait. You mean prepared in the negative way or like the good way?
No, in a good way, you know, like
Okay.
a whole
Bubble
guest room
bath.
for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bubble bath.
Fireplace.
Door,
Candle.
door, we wish to avail ourselves of the guest room, please.
Guest room function.
Yay.
Wow. So cozy.
This is how I imagine it must have been to be a student at Silvery Moon.
Not to be confused with
Wow.
Hogwarts. Leviosa. The bed is exceptionally soft and comfortable. If you like it soft and comfortable. For those of you who like a stiffer, firmer mattress, it magically adjusts to your preference.
Oh.
And although the brazier is in the center of the room, each of the beds and the immediate 2 feet surrounding the beds seems to have a localized temperature control so that those of you who prefer slightly warmer weather and temperatures feel comfortable, whereas those who prefer slightly cooler temperatures feel equally comfortable. And around each of your beds, there's a nullifying effect. Although you can hear other people speaking when they're having a conversation, it automatically dulls the sound so that you can't hear them very clearly and they can't hear you very clearly. But it seems to know your intent so that if you're trying to have a conversation with somebody in another bed or somewhere else in the room, it automatically stops trying to mute the sound.
Yes. You said the tower is unoccupied. Perhaps we can take this as our base.
I
Sure.
need to get back to the tieflings.
We're just going to live here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any wardrobes or anything in the room?
Yes, there are a number of chests scattered around the room. And you notice that there seem to be handles underneath your bed. So your beds are not mattresses on a frame that is suspended above the ground on 4 legs or more. It's actually a solid base all the way down to the ground. And there seem to be handles, several handles on the side of the bed.
Interesting.
Charlotte, any abjuration magic on the beds or handles or chests?
Let me check. Attack magic is still up, so.
Sure. There is magic throughout the room, but the handles themselves are not magical.
Okay. I'm just gonna open up and see what's inside.
They are empty drawers,
Aw.
but there is a shimmer as you open it.
Can I put my hand down in the chest or a drawer or something and just think about a cloak? See what happens.
Yes, when you do that, your hand disappears. Oh my God! No, your hand disappears and you retrieve a bundle.
Huh.
The bundle includes a purple cloak similar to the one you saw on Galio Libro,
Mhm.
as well as what appeared to be generic comfortable sleepwear.
Just what I was looking for.
Oh. I want a cloak. I'll do the same thing.
Yes, every bed has a bundle.
Yay!
Cracker thinks about a
So
sword and
cool.
sticks her hand in the drawer.
She gets a bundle with a cloak and generic sleepwear.
Great. Are there like little swords on the sleepwear?
There are little swords on the sleepwear.
So cool.
It's a bag of holding drawer. Almost.
Do you
That
wish
cloak
to set a
is-
password?
Is the cloak kind of, you can use it as outside wear, kind of?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
regular cloak.
Good.
Oh my
Good,
god,
good, good.
matching outfits.
Yeah.
Yay!
And
Well,
we're
that's handy.
almost wizards of the many starred cloaks or something.
Yeah.
It looks similar, but you suspect there's something different about it that you don't fully understand. Because
Yeah,
you would have
but-
to be a member of the actual guild to get a full proper cloak.
Yeah, but
But
it's close
possibly
enough, so
it might pass
people will-
general inspection. Yeah.
Yeah,
it will think that we belong here.
good plan.
Good thinking.
At minimum, it's good branding on the part of the guild.
Mhm.
Mhm.
A little bit of free advertising.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sounds like got a group of happy customers here.
Christmas
Yes.
presents. Yay.
Yeah.
Christmas presents and a little sleepover for everybody.
Slumber party.
Slumber party.
Well, I have to
All right.
concentrate.
You have to concentrate?
Yeah, on copying.
Oh, right. Yeah. Shh, everybody quiet. Violet's concentrating. And it takes her a lot longer than some people. Okay, so I think on that warm and fuzzy note, I shall wish you all a wonderful rest of your remaining year, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah, same to you.
Same to you.
Okay, all right. Take care, everybody.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year,
Yay.
everyone.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
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 Happy New Year.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.